It's been more than 3 years since Hyundai launched the Creta in India, and through all that time, the compact SUV has reigned supreme. It has fended off a few adversaries like the Renault Captur, and frankly, there's no one in that segment which offers a better value for money proposition than the Creta.
So the benchmark again has to fight it out with a newbie, and this time it's from Nissan. It's the Kicks, and we've driven it already and told you all about it. But yes, it needs to beat the benchmark in this segment, and that is the Creta. In fact, it looks prettier than the Creta because, well, look at it. It's fantastic to look at. Just like the Captur 2 just won on design, and this one does that too. It's a winner when it comes to looks, but misses out on key elements. It does not get LED DRLs. However, it does get LED projector headlamps, which the Creta does not get. So yeah, you kind of minus some features on the car. But overall, it looks like a very good proposition. However, we want to know more about it, and we want to tell you more about it to make you understand which one of these you should choose.
The Hyundai Creta facelift wears the family look with the new Cascade grille. Those 17-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels too look great on the car. But the Kicks' sharp, upright styling with the edgy lines on the sides looks smashing. The V-shaped grille with a thick chrome element and those swept-back headlamps add to the boldness of the Kicks. That orange roof and grey body gives it a youthful appeal, and yes, it too comes with 17-inch alloy wheels. The Kicks is longer than the Creta by more than 100 mm. It's wider too and has more space between the wheels as well. Ground clearance too stands at 210 mm, while the Creta gets just 190. On the inside, it's a whole new ballgame. The Kicks has some tricks up its sleeve, and the first thing you notice is the sumptuous leather upholstery all around the cabin, giving it a premium feel. Then there's the 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with smartphone integration in the form of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Automatic climate control and cruise control are also part of the package. You also get a first-in-segment 360-degree camera, which comes in handy when parking in tight spots.
Now, out of the two, the Creta actually has a very ergonomic cabin, and that is because everything here is at your disposal and everything is within view range. And that's not actually the way the Kicks is. You have your central locking system, you have power windows right here, you have the mirror adjustment right here as well, and of course climate control and a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system. The Kicks gets an 8-inch, and that's where the Kicks differentiates in terms of features. However, the steering wheel has all the buttons you need at your disposal, right from cruise control to Bluetooth to everything that you actually don't get these sort of buttons on the Kicks. The Kicks also lacks other features which this one actually gets. Of course, there's also a sunroof available in this one, and of course there is a wireless charger which actually sets the Creta apart from the rest of its rivals, making it a very, very value for money proposition.
The Creta also gets an electrically adjustable driver's seat as opposed to the manually adjustable one in the Kicks. The driver's seat on the Kicks is a touch too high. The Creta, however, misses out on rain-sensing wipers which the Kicks has to offer. Both the cars get a part digital, part analog instrument cluster, but the one on the Creta is easy to navigate through. The Kicks gets the same steering mounted STALK which we've seen on the Captur, which is a bit of an eyesore. The Creta gets two USB chargers up front, while the Kicks gets a 12-volt socket and a single USB and auxiliary input ports. Both cars come with AC vents at the rear, but we were surprised by the space both had to offer on the rear seat.
Now the Kicks is actually longer than the Creta, in fact a little close to 100 millimeters longer, and the wheelbase too is actually more by 83 millimeters. Sadly, that really doesn't construct into any form of space at the rear. I am jam packed here. This is according to my preference, and I really am jam packed here. The only thing I have here is good amount of headroom, but wonder where all that space went, don't you? Other features include a rear AC vent. You have your standard charging portal here, right here, and of course you have this. You have a handrest right here. So overall, a nice place to be in, but still extremely cramped. But really can't understand why, considering it's actually bigger on both fronts, on the wheelbase as well as the length of the car.
The Creta fares well in this context, as there's a good amount of knee room at the rear, but the bolstering of the seats makes the Kicks the more comfortable of the two. Let's now move on to something that you'll be waiting for: how they drive. The Kicks is available with both petrol and diesel engines, both 1.5 litre units. We compared the diesels of both the cars, so let's get to it.
Now the Kicks gets the 1.5 litre diesel engine. It churns out 108 brake horsepower and 240 Newton meters of torque. Well, it's the same specification as on the Capture or the Duster or even the Terrano. The same engine as well. But it makes sense. It seems a bit underpowered, and that's where you want that additional power, because you know the car has more to offer. But the Kicks sadly does not have that amount of power. But gear changes are not, I cannot term it as smooth, but they are all right. They slot in, but the gear changes do require a bit of push. However, the ride and handling is phenomenal, especially on roads that have potholes, or if you go out on terrains that are, not road terrains as such. It's not a thoroughbred off-roader, but a bit of soft roading, yes, the Kicks can do it wonderfully well, and that's only because of that B0 platform it's based on. It's wonderful cars coming out of there already. So yes, there is a lack of power, but the ride and handling is exceptionally good. The steering too is well weighed, unlike the artificial bit that you feel on the Creta, and that's what makes you drive the car even more. Yes, a definite up in terms of ride and handling when it comes to the Kicks, and definitely better than the Creta.
Post 2000 RPM, the Kicks is in its zone. The light clutch and the 6-speed manual transmission makes things easier for the driver. Sadly, there's no automatic on offer, and it's just the 6-speed manual transmission that you get on the Kicks. And here's where the Creta shines.
Hyundai has sheer options at its disposal, because unlike the Kicks, which is just available in a diesel engine and just a manual transmission, this one is available with two diesel engines, 1.4 litre and 1.6 litre, and well, it's also available in a 6-speed manual and a 6-speed automatic, and that means the consumers actually have a lot of choice to whether to go in for a manual or whether to go in for an automatic. To top it all, the 1.6 litre version of this has 126 brake horsepower on offer. That is about 18 brake horsepower more than the Kicks, and that's a big advantage, because then it gives the driver the power at his or her disposal, and that's fantastic. Yes, I said that the Creta's steering is a bit, well, artificial, and it is, but in traffic condition it does come in handy, because it does help to maneuver the car in and out of traffic. Yes, this is a 6-speed manual transmission that we've got now, and the gears slot in extremely well, unlike the one on the Kicks. It's really good to see how well Hyundai has managed to package this thing. However, ride quality is not up to par with the Kicks, and that probably is the only problem with the Creta.
There's more torque on offer too compared to the Kicks. Power delivery is linear till the turbo kicks in. And then you really feel the surge of power, but the strong mid-range of the engine makes all the difference on the highway. The suspension on the Creta continues to be on the softer side, and that might do well on low speeds. While most of the bumps and potholes are dealt with ease, there are those sharp ones which disturb the cabin. The steering is nice and light, and hence maneuverability in and around urban traffic is very easy. But you don't get a sense of connect, especially at high speeds. The high-speed ride feels soggy and not as calm or composed like that on the Kicks. The Kicks impresses with its ride quality. It offers a comfortable ride for its occupants. The suspension is not too much on the softer side and hence offers a very comfortable ride. All the undulations on the road, speed breakers, potholes are dealt with ease. There is a bit of body roll though, but you can throw the car into a corner and get it out with ease. On the safety front, Nissan offers 4 airbags, ABS with EBD, brake assist and hill start assist. Creta gets all of it, but offers 2 airbags more than the Kicks on the top end variant. The Creta is priced between 9,50,000 rupees to 15,10,000 rupees, and yes, the top spec variants are pricier than the Capture and even the Kicks. While the introductory pricing of the Kicks does not undercut the Creta, the top-end petrol version is close to 3 lakh rupees cheaper than the Creta, and this definitely makes it a good proposition. On the diesel front, the Creta manages to beat the Kicks on price for the base variant, while the top-end model is about 55,000 rupees more expensive. The Kicks is good to look at, is good on features and has quite good ride quality. Had it good space at the rear, this would have been quite the contest. The Creta, however, as an overall package, outranks the Kicks and is still the more value for money proposition.